having someone in your life who has been where you are headed gives you the opportunity to learn from their experiences, gives you the opportunity to maybe not make the same mistakes. So that's one of the reasons it's important to build the right network around yourself. The second is that, as Ainsley mentioned, we as individuals have a certain skill set, and we want to be really sharp and well developed in those skills. But in order to have more ability or flexibility, we need to find people who complement us, and that's complement with an E, not an I, right? So people who have skills that we may not have, so that together we can achieve more. One of the things that I love about being surrounded by friends who are completely different from me is that they have a very different way of looking at the world. And when I have conversations with them, they let me into that perspective. So just to give you guys an example, I am not the most budget-oriented person you'll ever meet. I was sharing that I just bought my dog a birthday present of a little video camera thing that will tell me when she's barking and give her treats. You know, like, yeah, I did. Right, so I own the fact that I am not the most budget-friendly person. I'm great for Amazon, though. Amazon loves me. And so some of the things that I look for in my friends is I want people who are more budget conscious than me. Because when I walk up to them and I'm like, hey, guess what I did? I just bought myself a blah, 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 blah. They're like, really? Did you need it? Well, I'm expecting it to do this and this and this for me. Okay, well, as long as it's really something that you needed, right? I mean, they just have a different way of looking at it. Or if I'm making a decision around purchasing something, those are the friends that I pick up the phone and call because they're going to help me look at it from a different perspective. The same thing is also true for any major decision that I've made. I like to collect input from other people so I can see things from different perspectives and then find my own way through that input. The third reason that we want to surround ourselves with the right people is that we can't do it alone. If we want to have the kind of meaning and the kind of impact that I know all of us, every single one of us in this room want to have, we can't do it by ourselves. We have to find the right people to go with us on that journey, because then we can amplify our impact. You guys have all heard this term for synergy, 1 + 1 = 3, right? This idea that the sum is greater, the whole is greater than the sum of the individual parts. That when we get together, we can do something that is almost unimaginable because of the energy that we create together. And that's another reason that it's really important to create the right group of folks around you. Does this make sense? So I want to really focus on this quote, which is one of my favorites. It's actually my signature file. Never doubt that a small group of thoughtful, committed citizens can change the world. Indeed, it is the only thing that ever has. So impact, change, starts with a small group of people connecting around it, and then it amplifies, it grows, it expands. And the same thing is true in our companies. If we don't like something about our company or their culture, that change starts with a small group of people getting together and saying, nope, this isn't the best of our company. This isn't who we want to be. We're going to sit down and we're going to figure out what we want the company to look like, and we're going to pass that message forward. It's going to start with us. It's going to start with us sitting at the table in this room. Change starts with us. I'm a geek and I love watching leadership stuff, and one of the things that they talk about is the fact that it's actually not the leader who has the most difficult role, it's the first follower. The first person who chooses to follow has the most impact, not the leader themselves. Because we can all be leaders and we can all have our own message. What determines the power of our message? The first person who chooses to follow. I was like, wow, Think about that for a second. Craziness to me. So what is networking? So I will tell you, believe it or not, I'm an introvert. Many people don't believe that, but it is true. And the scariest thing in the world to me is walking into a networking event. Hate it. And I know some of that is self-talk, but I really don't like it. I don't want to walk into a room of people that I don't know. That just doesn't sound fun to me at all. And so my solution was that I would start walking into the room with somebody I did know, and I would talk to them for the entire time, so I might as well have not gone and just gone and had dinner with my friend. And since then, I've grown a little bit and recognized what the true purpose of networking is. And networking is about building meaningful connections. It is not about quantity, it is about the quality of the connection. It doesn't matter if you have 500,000 people in your network, if not one of them could tell somebody else anything about you. But if you have a small group of people in your network who know who you are, who know what you're trying to achieve, then you have a powerful network.